Greetings, you two. Story time. This story is about a confession in France. So, I was indoctrinated into the occult in Ireland as a Roman Catholic. So, the Roman Catholic Church is very much of the occult, even though they claim to be Christian, they're very much of the occult. So, that's how I was indoctrinated into the occult. So, I took a trip around Europe with my son. I went to different Marian sites where it's believed that Mary, the Mother of God, appeared. And I do believe that might have happened, although I'm a little skeptical now, a little bit more skeptical about those things. But I went to Marian sites. So one of the places I went to was Lourdes, France. So when I was in Lourdes, France, I went to confession, because that's a practice that they do in the Catholic Church. That's how they get intelligence on you, is through confession. You know, you have to be very careful because they'll try to use that against you. I had that happen to me. I had them try and use my confessions against me. Oh, isn't that just sweet, sweet divine forgiveness? And their priests are nothing but imposters. They say they're fathers. They don't have any children. How are they fathers? They're not married to a woman. They're married to a false Christ deity, and they say that they're fathers. They're imposters. And of course they suffer from imposter syndrome. I wonder why. Anyway, I went to confession, and when I knelt down, it was a confessional where you could kneel down and there was a barrier, so you couldn't really see the priest unless he leaned forward. And so I expressed to him my discontent about what happened in the industrial schools in Ireland, where they were taking the children of poor families and families where one parent died or one of the parents was working abroad to feed the family, and they would take the children and put them in industrial schools and do industrial scale child abuse. So I expressed my dissatisfaction about that. And do you know, he tried to curse me. He tried to curse me. He said, I curse you in the name of whatever he was saying. I wouldn't do that. Not a good idea, but that's what he did. So I corrected him in the confessional, and I said, where two or more are gathered in the name of Jesus, then Jesus is present. And I wasn't doing anything that would deserve a curse. And so now he's in my book of shadows. So he has it coming to him. Whatever happens, happens. He has it coming. He shouldn't have done that. But anyway, he did give me absolution. But that's when I learned it was like a farce. It was just a joke. But he gave me absolution. And then after he gave me absolution, he stormed out of the confessional. Stormed out of the confessional. I kid you not. I don't know what his problem was. Maybe he was dealing with the demonic. I don't know. But my book of shadows will deal with him. So I'm not really Christian anymore. I consider myself more like a druidess, where I embrace the esoteric and different things. But I do value the message of Jesus. I believe in the story of Jesus. And I love my Creator, whom I call God. And I give thanks to my Creator. I give thanks to Lucifer at different times. But when I give thanks to my Creator, I give thanks to everything. But that's a true story. So I'm not going to go on and on. It's a short story. But that was what happened with the confession in France. The other thing that happened in France that was very weird was I got into the Lourdes bath. You had to line up to get into the bath. And so the women, the women's section, the women put their hands on you. They have their hands all over you when you're getting into the bath. And I had to just fight them to get their hands off me so I could experience the water and everything. It was a very weird experience. And then I had a woman come up to me afterwards and ask me if I was okay. And I was fine. But it was just a very odd experience, the way they do the Lourdes bath. It kind of creeped me out. My son didn't want to get in the baths, and I didn't make him. But anyway, thanks for listening to my Tales from the Crypt of France.